I'd like to call this meeting to order. Are there any announcements? Who's with us electronically?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Well, not that, we like people, but I guess we're boring or something. I don't know. Okay, enough of that. Not hearing anything from anybody. Is there any items that we need to add? Are we okay? Nothing good? Yeah, Bueller, okay. All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
So moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 The agenda is approved. Okay. Public forum, anybody wishing to speak? I know you gentlemen are here to visit us and perhaps answer questions for a particular issue in the back, but for now, I don't hear anything, don't see anything, hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil, and all that. Consent calendar. Do any of you gentlemen have anything on the consent calendar that warrants attention or commentary or questions? Not hearing anything. I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 Aye. Our consent calendar is approved. Very good. Once again, nice job on that. John, please let Miss Alyssa know.
Yeah.
We appreciate her work, and you gentlemen might be in on that too, right? Or,
We work adjacent to her, but not directly
Oh,
in
okay.
the same area.
okay. That's okay. All right.
Nobody's perfect.
No. Administrator engineer. Sir. Are we looking at the proposed resolution?
Yes.
That's resolution number 8. Okay, I certainly have some questions about this. However, and with due respect to everybody, the questions that I would have are, or comments that I would have are probably after the fact, as I see it, because it's clear to me, or very obvious to me, that this is something that should be done. What I'm trying to figure out is what we have available, what infrastructure we have available to us to implement the capture of the water, stormwater. So I don't know if that's something that we have to do, or we have to have involvement and spend big money, and is it worth it, blah, blah, blah.
The President,
Yes, sir.
these are resolutions to the Minnesota Watershed.
Yeah.
Organizations.
Yeah.
And this resolution 8 that you're talking about,
Mhm.
it's a resolution to allow
Yep.
stormwater harvesting and reuse for irrigation.
Right,
The plumbing board is proposing to prohibit that. Valley Branch Watershed District, a lot of permit applicants, permit holders have utilized that. To
Yep.
meet your rules and regs. So if they prohibit it, then the developers would not be able to use that in Valley Branch Watershed District. To meet
Right.
the rules and regs.
yeah,
There's other situations where Valley Branch might want to implement this on its own in certain situations.
Mhm.
There's right now a 3M PFAS settlement grant application that you submitted. We're still waiting to hear back on that, but
Right.
that involves capturing runoff and reusing it for irrigation.
okay. So do you have a comment, sir? Please.
Do we know if this plumbing board thing passes and not, and if without this, this exception? What happens to our current permit holders that are using reuse? Is there a provision that grandfather them in or anything, or do we know about that?
It's not clear to anybody yet on what happens, because technically, the way I understand it is the plumbing code doesn't have a specific paragraph in it to talk. A long time ago, they had this paragraph in it to talk about using runoff for irrigation. They removed that paragraph several years ago, and they say that because runoff isn't specifically listed as a possible source for irrigation, it's prohibited. You can only use sources that are listed. There's been a lot of systems that have been installed in the last several years when apparently they've been prohibited. And there's been grants received from other state agencies to implement these projects. And now the plumbing board, which is a subdivision of the Department of Labor and Industry, they're saying that you can't do it. So there's a lot of stakeholders that are pushing back right now or are meeting to try to push back in the planning board to allow this.
Sir,
I missed the last meeting. I know where this was discussed, but I was just curious, have we heard, has there been a problem or is there some reason the plumbing board has decided to take this position? Or is there a statement of need and reasonableness? I know that they have that for legislation, but do we have any kind of an idea of why they're doing this?
Not yet. There's a meeting next week that the administrator for the Capital Region Watershed District has organized along with Minnesota Watersheds to give us some additional background if she's been able to collect any in the last couple of weeks. And then there's a meeting of the plumbing board, I think the following week, and there'll be quite a few attendees at that meeting. I forwarded information off to Washington County because Washington County, their county-wide groundwater plan encourages irrigation from stormwater. The Freshwater Society is on board. I think the ag community is also on board. So there's a diverse group of people that are very interested in what's going on and to try to understand why the plumbing board is opposed to using stormwater for irrigation and try to encourage them to change their mind to allow it. If it's a matter of public health and safety, well then let's understand, well, first of all, that should be coming from the Department of Health, not from the
Right.
board, to telling us what the treatment's going to be before using.
Okay, thank you.
so with that said, I could probably speak for all the managers and you could certainly comment at your leisure, but we're essentially on board with this and we want to see it through. And so Mr. Pereira is not here to get on the hot seat and do some explanation, but that's where we're headed.
So for tonight,
Yeah.
there's just this informal comment period to the Minnesota Watershed organization. And then there's an official meeting of the organization in late August to talk about all the resolutions and
Right.
decide which ones are priority and to vote on it. So for tonight, if you have any questions or comments, the 10-day comment period ends on June 12th. So I can, if you have comments, I can relay them on to Jan to, and then I suspect that she would relay them back to the advocates, the authors of the resolutions to make any changes that be necessary.
So if I may ask, if the managers have any further commentary before the deadline, we can email you that information?
Sure.
Okay. Very good, sir.
I
One,
just
yes, sir.
comment in general.
Yeah,
I think the effort to push forward with educating various groups about shoreline protections. That's, I support that. I think that's some of the issues which comes explained in the.
Oh, yeah.
That, communities don't necessarily realize that's what they need to be doing.
John.
That awareness, including
Thank you, sir.
the education, I think is a big point.
It seems that all of the proposed resolutions are in tune with what Valley Branch Watershed District does. However, the first few resolutions discussed in the memo seem to be more relevant to Valley Branch than some of the others.
Right. So no further comments. We're thumbs up, whatever, that works.
If any manager has any comments, let me know and I'll relay them on to Jan Boyd.
Thank you, sir. Okay. I don't know if this is, if I can make this retroactive, but I forgot. I just want to talk about this very, very briefly. A couple of spelling errors on our meeting minutes from the last one. If you could check those out. Not a big deal. I'll give, yeah, I can tell you real quick. Line 9 on page 1. And hate to be nitpicky. Line 16 on page 3. Okay. So with that, Miss Susanna, what do you have for us?
Nothing,
What?
keeping it simple.
Okay, thank you. I thought you were gonna say, like my daughters would say. Is there anything you'd like to add? And they look at me and go, we don't know what you're talking about. I got over it. Took me years. All right. So let's move on to managers. Rick, would you like to share your visit with was it Bowser that you attended?
There's a couple of things. One is,
Yeah,
of course, John and Greg were there, went to the, Greg did most of the presentation and so on. I thought the Shelter Board was very receptive to, the plan that we had. They were pleased about, much smaller document and, happy about that, as we obviously are as well. And we had a fairly, lengthy discussion about chloride pollution and some of the issues there. It was of interest to several of the members, so that was good. I don't know, John, the things you want to add to it.
I think that's a good summary. We also talked about the stormwater reuse issue.
Oh,
that did come up.
yes, yeah,
Good.
and
Long
board
time.
members were very
Hey.
supportive,
Here's a good one, Rick, and it's kind of related. Did you have to pay for parking?
No,
Awesome.
yeah,
Cool.
PCA's got a
Oh,
4 hour parking lot there.
nice.
But like,
Go figure.
yeah, make it a little easier. And then I also attended an online training session for I think primarily local government and municipalities regarding chloride pollution.
Oh, excellent.
It was put on by PCA, and I think they've done a real nice job, very thorough job. Good documents that's included. And I think it gets into some of the detail, but not that, deep into the technicality and stuff. Very knowledgeable people presenting it.
Okay.
It was good to see that. So,
Nice work, sir.
yeah, I think, again, it's this education thing that, new issues, people need to be aware of them. And
Mr.
that's
For
something
you,
they're supporting. Go
yes,
ahead.
sir. For you gentlemen, just to for conversation, if nothing else. Mr. Geldman here is our spearhead on this chloride issue. And I'm sure you gentlemen are aware, but we want to make everybody aware and understand that education at the very least is a component of what we need to do. Okay, now I may have missed an item or two regarding the children's, is that coming up? The Children's Fund, did we,
Consent.
oh, that was on the consent calendar. Never mind. Sorry. Okay. So I guess my turn. So when I showed up here for the Baytown meeting, there was no parking. So I had to park on their lawn.
Oh, really?
I'm kidding. I found parking, but it was pretty packed. So there was a lot of people here from Baytown, and John basically gave the presentation of what we do because they have new members, and I added some minor things about how while it's about the water and what we do, but everybody needs to pay more and more attention to their personal property, their property, and take care of it better for the environment and everything else. And it's no big deal. And then Greg, one of the Greg is a homeowner, property owner in Baytown. I know him. He's a friend. And when I said that, he didn't understand a word I said because his hearing aid wasn't working properly. So I thought, for better judgment, not to do it. But what I wanted to do was stand up in front of everybody and just go. And then have Greg go, what? You know, I used to do that to my daughters too. Yeah, sorry.
I
Okay,
thought you're gonna say you use the Garrett Morris approach.
yeah, for the hard of hearing, yeah, I should have done that. Anyway, okay, but that went well. And so those folks are more informed and we hope to hear good things from them and of course to collaborate with them. And I saw that we wrote them a check. That's for the money, yeah, you know. So that's working out just fine. Okay. The cost share project, program project tracking. Everybody knows about that. We're getting kind of tight on that. We'll see. You guys don't have anything wild cooked up or nothing that you can think off the top of your head?
I wouldn't
Anything
be,
looming?
would not be able to answer those questions.
Okay. Does Alyssa handle that?
Alyssa or perhaps Engineer Hanson might be able to answer some of those questions.
No, relating to WCD.
There are a couple projects that are being discussed, but there might not be that much benefit for how much they might cost, so we're still having some discussions with.
Oh, very good, sir.
Rebecca Messenger.
It would be nice to head this off at the pass, and you gentlemen are aware of this. And I'm speaking for myself, but I believe the managers would agree that the more homework you get done regarding something, the easier it is for all of us to arrive at an understanding and to provide you or to provide us with the funds for these particular projects. You know, you come in and you go, yeah, we're going to do this. Okay. You want to explain it? You know, that sort of thing. But if you're ahead of the game and Alyssa's done this with her simple presentations from the plant grant and other items, then that helps us understand things much better. And it provides, the community with why and what we're doing. And of course, transparency and all that stuff that we may or may not take for granted, but we want to have as part of the Watershed District, so people know where everything's going. So, okay, just thought I'd add that. Does anybody have any comments on this? I didn't do that. That's okay. You don't, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Do any of the gentlemen have anything on the report from Nate? By the way, Nate, thank you. That was good. We appreciate that. Also, I don't want to insult your intelligence, but when we deal with folks, kid gloves, et cetera, I've been making this point for a long time. I know you're aware. I may have actually told you this already. We always want to help them as much as we can, but they also need to understand that they're helping the community with adhering to our rules and regs and the environment and all that. Cool?
Yeah.
We're good. Okay. But I like this. Sir,
I just had one quick question. Where is the Disney Suites memory care being constructed? We happen to know. It's just a pure curiosity. I have an uncle who might have to go there.
Yeah, I'd have to take a look at my web.
Okay,
to find it.
No big deal.
It's near 694 Central.
Oh, okay, okay,
it's safe. No.
okay.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Anything further from any of you gentlemen?
No.
Mr.
Good.
Rick? Nothing? We're all good? Okay. Nate, again, this is what we like to see, an explanation, and any particular trouble spots, let our engineer Hanson know right away so that we can coordinate and see what we can do. I had one fellow, John, Mr. Meyer, when he called me, this last week, was WCD involved in that? Not at all. Okay, we handled that. Okay.
Josh met with him.
Oh, he did.
Texted and emailed and had a conversation with him. There's been
Oh,
lots of
wonderful.
communications.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so that turned out well. We're also, because I originally come from the customer service, or shall I say, history. We like to take care of everybody and make sure that they're getting satisfaction to a point, you know. Customer's king, unless he misbehaves.
Just
Yes.
ask Nate, I mean, we got the report, but is there anything you wanted to further explain on
Yeah.
anything or any insights that you think
Thank
we
you.
might benefit from? that, You know, yeah,
Talk about how it went.
yeah,
Yes,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so still getting a feel for all the permits, a lot of permits, but I'm starting to get a feel for what's active and what I should be visiting pretty regularly.
okay,
One site from these last couple weeks, was the St. Mary's Cemetery. I did follow up with Scott on that site. And I am planning to stop back again tomorrow, so I'm hoping they made those repairs. There was a wetland bordering the site that, the perimeter controls were damaged. Sediment was kind of going off site boundary towards the wetland, not in the wetland yet.
okay,
So I immediately followed up with a phone call. He promised me he was gonna take care of it, so I'm stopping back again tomorrow to
beautiful. Now,
make sure on that. Yeah.
where's St. Mary's? Not the Halcyon one, right? Yeah, that one's different.
That's on,
It's over by you,
yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
on
Over by you,
Helen
okay.
and Lydia.
Yeah,
Okay,
Lydia?
it's over by Rick.
I think
That sounds right. Yeah, I know it's northwest side of the
it's just
district.
a little bit west of where, Stent Line, feature is.
Okay.
Up the hill from there.
good.
It's down the road from the Silver Lake outlet as well, so it's in that
So,
area.
yes, thank you for
Yeah.
following that up.
Yeah.
Anything further that you'd like to add?
Yes, there's one other site. It's not on this list. I visited there a few weeks ago, and it's permit number 2025-16. It's the Henry residence. There's also a wetland on that property where perimeter controls were down or damaged, non-functional. Sediment hadn't been stabilized, pretty good, slope leading towards the wetland also.
Okay,
When I was on that inspection, I spoke with Mrs. Henry. And I guess there were some concerns with the retaining wall. And so she wasn't sure, she hadn't been able to get into contact with the contractors either. I called once and then followed up with the email and have not gotten a response. That
okay,
one too is sediment starting to wash towards the wetland. It's not in the wetland, but
yes,
very
sir.
well could be.
Thank you for your diligence. And then, of course, if we need to take further action, by all means, approach us or whoever you believe is gonna help with that situation. Yes. We can't, we don't have teeth like some LGUs, but sometimes, anything further, sir?
No,
Okay,
not at the moment.
gentlemen, any further questions or concerns? All right. Thank you for attending and for
Yeah,
taking the
appreciate
time
you
out.
coming in.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you all.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's right. We never partied before, right?
Wait, sorry, what was that?
Partied.
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
Yeah. WCD, sometimes. Let's see. Okay. The inspector's report, okay. Future business. Our water management plan, June 24th. That's after our second meeting or before?
So that's before manager attendance, so that is not necessary. It's just
Okay,
hopefully a formality that the full Buzzer board will take the advice of the symbol committee meeting that Treasurer Gilman and I attended and.
Oh, very
approved
good.
the Belgrade plan.
Okay. And of course, the district meeting, the 25th, I assume we'll have quorum. Anybody going anywhere crazy, or these guys go to different continents and stuff. And it gets interesting. I lived through them. Okay. Washington County Fair, July 29th, August 2. You'll remind us again, and I'll set up a couple of times with WCD. That's who we hang out with. Okay. St. Croix workshop on the water, Stillwater, Thursday, July 30th. Remind us. That's probably something we should all attend, correct, generally? It's very informative, of course, you gentlemen have all attended. And there's usually a commissioner or two on board. The summer tour, we'll talk about that later. The Watershed Annual Meeting, resolutions petition, that's the end of August. We'll discuss that if that's any requirement besides Vice President Pereira to attend. And then the East Metro Water Resources Education Program, MREP, 20th anniversary. See, here we go. Celebration, Rustic Roots Winery, Scandia, Tuesday, September 29th. There you go. That's the party, see? So anyway, we'll bring that up in the future and see how that goes. But for now, I just have one more item. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
So moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 We are adjourned.